I am recovering my couch. I have already started, but I want to catch you guys up on what's been going on. Recovering a couch is a big project, and so I'm kind of like trying to figure out how this video is going to come together along the way. So please bear with me. We are kind of backtracking because I have already started. I just kind of want to introduce you to the project so you kind of understand my process and my inspiration. When we moved into this apartment, we had a little more space than our previous apartment, and so we were able to get a couch. I am a big Pinterest user, so I have been pinning ideas for my living room for the longest time. A reoccurring theme on my Pinterest board is striped couches. I love a striped couch. It's very coastal to me. Coastal, cozy. It just feels like a grandma house, but in a chic way. Classy and coastal. When we moved into this apartment, we needed to get a couch. I really wanted a striped couch. And I did look on Facebook Marketplace. I looked everywhere for a striped couch, but just didn't find one. And we kind of just needed a couch. Also, we're on a budget. We're young. My husband goes to school. So we're on a budget. I can't just drop even $600 on a couch. And so we were looking for one secondhand. We ended up going to the thrift store and picking out a couch and an ottoman. Just because it fit our space really well, and I kind of liked the idea that it created an L couch. The couch itself is not super cute. It's just like a brown material. It's kind of like rugged feeling because it's used. The material is definitely synthetic too, and so it's not really comfy. It's kind of scratchy in some places. And then the ottoman was floral, which I do like a floral moment, but not quite that colorway and vibe. That's how we got it. My plan was to recover the couch, hopefully in a striped material, but we had to go find some. Of course, I could find the perfect striped material online on Etsy or an upholstery fabric store, but it was really important to me that I could feel the material and also be able to judge the thickness of it. I want it to be comfortable but also last, and so instead of buying the material online, I went to our local fabric stores and just took a look around. Here we have a Joann Fabrics and a Hobby Lobby, and then some little quilt shops. Wasn't really going for a quilting material because that's definitely not thick enough. I went to Joann's first, and they had a horrible selection. One, nothing striped, and two, all of the upholstery fabric was just almost outdoor upholstery, very thick, very structured, and would not be comfy to sit on. So scratched Joann's, wasn't gonna work out. Went to Hobby Lobby, found a lot of striped options. There was linen materials, which would have been perfect, aside from all of their linen was really thin, which isn't gonna work. They had kind of canvasy striped materials. I think specifically what I found was called a ticking stripe, and they had multiple colorways. They had a light gray, a red, a navy, I think there was a dark gray, and then also a black. My dream would have been probably a tan stripe, but they didn't have it, which was fine. So Going along with the coastal theme, I picked the navy blue. Actually, the day that I went to go buy material, they had a 40% off all fabric sale. It was crazy. They only had one bolt of the fabric that I chose, which for sure was not going to be enough. I actually, after doing the calculations, I ended up needing like 19 yards of the material, and one bolt I think is maybe like 7, so I needed like almost 3. I actually went home and I ordered the fabric that day. It was 40% off. I got 19 yards and it ended up being under $100. So affordable, which is exactly what we were looking for. I do kind of want to cover costs of this whole project in this video too, just to show you that you can do it for a really affordable price, especially if you're DIYing it yourself. We bought the couch for $30, the ottoman for $10, and so far we bought the fabric for under $100. It was like $98 or something like that, which was insane. It was such a deal, and like I started this project at the perfect time, because what a steal for so much fabric. Before I could buy the material, I had to calculate how much I would actually need. The blue stripe material is 45 inches wide, and so then I had to measure every inch of this couch to figure out how much I would need. And I created a map for myself. If you are planning to recover a couch, I highly recommend doing this step because I think it should make it a lot easier in the long run. I use graph paper to create like a template for myself. So if you can see the little squares, they are it's quarter inch graph paper that I printed out, and then each square is supposed to be like 5 inches. That's kind of the gauge I did. So because it's 45 inches wide, it's 9 squares wide. And then I just cut and cut and cut, so that I could like kind of see how much yardage I would need. I hope this is making sense. It's kind of hard to explain. Then I actually like labeled the end of each yard. So yeah, I think this is like where the first yard ends. That's the second yard. That must be the third, and so on. So yeah, and then I measured each piece that I would need, and I started blocking it out onto my fabric to see how many yards I would need, and I need 19. Every couch or, project you're working on is different, and so you'll have to do your own math to figure out how much you need, but definitely go a little over than under. I probably needed more, like 18.5, but I just went with 19 to make sure I had like every bit of fabric that I needed. Other supplies that I needed were a staple gun. I have one of those like regular manual staple guns, and I used it to recover all of the upholstery on our dining chairs, and just doing those 4 chairs really like took a hit on just my arms and my hands. So I knew going into this project that I was going to need an electric staple gun, if I hoped to actually like complete this project and also like get enough tension and stuff like that. I bought I think it was like $30 electric staple gun on Amazon. I really like it so far. I'll have it linked down below if you're interested. Something else I think is important to have is a little bit of quilt padding, just to kind of soften the edges of it, and I don't know, fill in some spots. I also used some to kind of drape over the ottoman because it was kind of like sagging a little bit, and honestly I think I probably should have added a little bit more, but that's okay. I would get just like a little roll. I think I got enough for like a baby blanket, so not very much. It depends on like the condition of your couch for sure. One other thing that I ended up getting without realizing until later that I would need is a piping foot. It depends on the style of couch you're going for or what you already have, but my couch specifically has a lot of piping and I like that sort of detail, and so I did end up getting a piping foot. You could use a zipper foot as well, but I am kind of glad that I got one. I wouldn't say it's super necessary though. Now that I have my inspiration, all of the supplies I need, it's time to actually get started. I definitely started with the easier parts first, just because it's what I could wrap my head around. Easy as in like uncomplicated to figure out the process for. I started by recovering the actual couch cushions. It took a lot of time, but all of the steps were really simple. I basically just used the existing pieces after like ripping everything apart to cut new pieces from a new material and then assemble it, and they turned out so good. This was a few weeks ago. We have been living with the new couch cushions and they are so comfy. I definitely feel really confident in my decision for the material from Hobby Lobby. If you are interested in doing a striped couch, I would recommend this fabric. I think it will hold up pretty well, and it is like really comfy. After like after a few days of sitting on it, it started to get softer, and I think it's just gonna get more and more comfy as we use our couch. After doing the couch cushions, I started to do the ottoman, and that one was so fun. This project has been challenging. It's something I've never done before, but I love a good challenge, and it's really been fun for me. The ottoman was a pretty similar process to the cushions, just a little bit more. It had some irregular pieces that I again just used the old material pieces to like as a pattern to cut out new pieces, and that has been working out really well for me. I've just been doing it like one piece at a time, so I don't overwhelm myself. I don't lose track of where pieces belong, and it's been working really well. The ottoman turned out so good. I am loving how it's turning out. My husband has been really impressed with how it's turning out also. And then after finishing the cushions and the ottoman, I took a break for a while. We went on a trip, and shortly after the trip I got sick, and it was just too much to take on again. And I have also been wanting to catch you guys up in the video so that nothing is confusing. We're at the point again where I feel confident to get started again. Things we have left is like the back cushions, we have the arms, and then the back of the couch, and a little strip underneath the couch. And I am really excited. I'm really excited to get it done, because it's really starting to come together. I also my couch definitely feels a little disjointed right now with the different colors, and I would love for it all to be the same material so it looks more uniform. And then I would like to work on just like styling our living room area a little bit more and just making the whole room feel a little bit more complete. So I'm really excited to jump back into this project again. Now you're caught up. So let's get started. I believe that I have left the hardest part of the couch for last, which has made it a little demotivating to get back started and to finish off this project, but it is time to get it done. I'm so sick of this couch being mismatched, so let's get started. Today we are deconstructing everything that is left. That's my goal. I also have to try and flip this couch on my own, which could be more difficult than I think. Let's try it. Ooh, okay, I can do this. We did it. This part of the process involved a lot of staple removing, deconstructing, cutting fabric, ripping stuff off. It was pretty tedious and very time consuming. It was the hardest part. Physically, in this whole project, it took me a few days, and I was very tired after deconstructing everything. And then it was time to put on the new material, and it was just starting to look so good. Honestly, the best way to know how to put the couch back together was just to take it apart in the first place and just, take note of those little things that were important. And then the couch was done. Well guys, the couch is finally done. It took me way longer than I originally assumed it would. I figured it would take me a few days, and it did. I just had kind of a break in between those days, and it took me a minute to get the motivation to finish the whole thing, but I finished it yesterday. It looks so good. And I'm really, really proud of how this project turned out. I think total, if you include the cost of the couch, the materials, and also the staple gun that I purchased, the whole cost of everything was under $200, which is really great, because to buy a couch that looked the way I wanted it to would have been probably double, triple, who knows how much more. And I'm really glad that we were able to achieve the look I wanted, but on a budget. And it was a lot of work, but it was definitely worth it. I just love the stripes. I love the stripes. I think in my next video, I would like to create some throw pillows for the couch because it is feeling a little too matchy at this point. I would love to throw some more color in, and so I think that's going to be my next video, is adding some like kind of finishing touches just to this room. So I'm excited about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was fun to watch and maybe inspired you to take on a project that has been in the back of your mind. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about the whole process, and I will see you guys in the next video.